Studio to break down some of the major takeaways from that lawsuit. Allison.
In his petition, Governor Abbott says if representatives are free not to show up whenever they choose, then Texans simply don't have a representative government. This lawsuit also addresses how Democrats are handling fines. Now, the House bill will try to establish quorum again on Friday, but Democrats who are out of the state say they plan to stay away for at least the next 2 weeks, which will mark the end of the current special session. In studio, Allison Martinez, KVUE News.
Just a little bit because it is really starting to feel like a typical August this week.
I know, yeah, that typical August time frame. This is our hottest 2 weeks of the year. We're right in the middle of it. So yes, Adam, those clouds are going to help us out just a little bit as we head into this afternoon, but we're sitting pretty much at normal of where we usually are this time of day, both at 87 degrees for the airport as well as Camp Mabry. Dew points are also just a touch higher today, so it may feel a little bit more uncomfortable as you step out the door to start your Wednesday. Here's a look at temperatures across the area. 89 for Georgetown, almost up to 90 degrees there, but we do have some cooler spots on the map out towards Fredericksburg. Still sitting at 79 degrees today, and out towards the coastal plains, we're sitting in the mid to upper 80s. Now, it more so feels like the 90s out there. 93 for Austin, 99 for LaGrange. If we're looking at the feels like temperatures, we just have an 89 up in Burnett. That heat index is going to continue to climb as we head throughout the day today. 106 is going to be that peak as we head towards about 4 p.m. this afternoon. Now, thankfully, there's no rainfall on the map, but we kind of wish we could see a little bit of something. Back to you, Adam.
Whatever it takes to cool us down, right, this time of year, but at least we have the clock.
And we have another day of blues on the green tonight, going over that forecast for your Wednesday, as well as some tropics talk coming up.
Finish line around 7, which is that's the right move there. I admire their ability to actually get up when the alarm goes off in the morning. Yeah,
I think like last year I was doing on a shoot or something, and my Instagram caption was, "I highly recommend a Texas summer at 7 a.m. for a couple minutes."
It's the only way to do it. I pushed my little walk back till 8 this morning. I was like, I'm already melting. It's just it's too late. So congrats to them on a 6-mile run at that too. No joke.
That's impressive, and I won't be doing that anytime soon. But you know, the heat is here to stay for a little while, and that includes this afternoon. We are expecting those heat indices to get right back up to those triple digits, but I don't think our actual temperatures will make it that far. So here's a look at Texas temperatures as we head into our Wednesday, just ahead of midday. 87 degrees for Austin and Lubbock, also a little bit warm, 88 degrees there, and already 90 degrees to start off the day here in El Paso. Things are pretty humid outside, more humid than what we were seeing yesterday. Yesterday we had dew points in the upper 60s. Now they're trending up to the lower 70s, so it will feel a little bit more tropical outside rather than just the regular uncomfortable. So our feels like temperatures are already up to 101 for LaGrange, 93 for Austin, and out towards the hill country feeling just a little bit better where those feels like temperatures are trending through the upper 80s and the lower 90s. Now again, I said that heat index is going to be the issue for today. It's only going to trend upwards as we head towards 3 and into 5 p.m. this evening. 106 is that expected high for the heat index this afternoon. And again, we have blues on the green going on for our Wednesday. That music starts up at 7 p.m. and by 7 p.m. we're still expecting actual temperatures to be in the 90s, and our feels like temperatures could very well be in the upper 90s, if not near 100 degrees. So we definitely need to be staying hydrated if you're headed out there towards Zilker Park. And then as we shift into the night after sunset, things will get a little bit cooler, probably dipping down into the upper to mid 80s. All right, we do have some updates for our current tropical activity. We still have Tropical Storm Dexter, which is bothering nobody out there and is going to continue up to the north and east of the Atlantic. But we also are watching down to the south here along the equator. We have a 20 to even 60% chance of development over that way. And then we're also looking at this area over towards the Carolinas, or just off the coast rather, with a 10 to 40% chance of development over the next 2 to 7 days. So I looked at our National Weather Service, or the National Hurricane Center forecast, and they do believe that these areas in this orange color are expected to see some sort of tropical depression or development as we head into the late week and over this weekend. So we're going to be watching these carefully. Again, that first one is going to be off the coast of the Carolinas, and much of that moisture may be lifting up towards the north and east. Not totally sure exactly where that moisture is going to go, but we can say that over towards the equator, this one is likely going to stretch along the equator and kind of move up towards those areas closer to like the Bahamas or even Bermuda in the next 7 days here. So this is totally normal. Our hurricane frequency map tells us that we are reaching that peak of hurricane season. September 10th is going to be the peak, so we're just a few weeks out from that. And then the season will end as we head into November 30th. It's honestly interesting that it ends that late in the year. But yep, we have marked off Dexter, and then Aaron is going to be our next name on the list. And again, we could see that as soon as maybe even this weekend. So our 7-day forecast shows us that we are expecting that high heat for the next several days, even including next week. Exactly, Adam. We are within our hottest 2 weeks of the year right now. So we've got until about the 14th, and then we should see a little bit of a cool down, but probably not much. You know, it does stay hot until like October here. So right now for today, if you're stepping out the door, it may feel a little bit more uncomfortable. We have some higher dew points than at this point yesterday. 87 degrees, both at our major weather stations right now, but it feels a little bit hotter than that. Already feels like the lower to mid to even upper 90s. And if you're out in Fayette County, already feels like 101 degrees before noon today. So yeah, very hot outside. That's the name of the game as we head through the next several days. Our dew points are set to lower just a little bit for the peak heating of the afternoon. So 68 degrees as we head towards about 8 p.m., but it will still feel not that great outside. I do think our heat indices are going to get up to 105, 106 this afternoon. Here's your actual high temperatures as you head into your Wednesday. We're expecting 97 for Austin, and then out towards the hill country, most of us in the mid 90s, and then out towards Schulenburg and LaGrange, we also see the mid 90s on the map as well. It's going to be a mostly sunny day outside. We also have another night of blues on the green, so we'll talk about that forecast as we head into the rest of the show. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Grace.
It was a really a bad year when it was the Chili Peppers and then it was Casey Musgraves on the other side. I was like,
that's tough.
Well, they definitely do that for a reason. They think people who are into country aren't going to be into the other. But for me, I like all music. So.
Love it all. Yeah, but hopefully, you know, the ACL trend will continue where we get that cold front at least one of the weekends, because it just feels so far away these days.
Yeah, it does. Well, we have another music festival going on tonight, actually. We have our Blues on the Green Festival, the longest ongoing music festival here in Austin. And tonight is the last night for it, and it is going to be quite steamy out there. So 7 p.m. we're going about 93 degrees for that start time, but then as it ends we will get a little bit cooler out there, and sunset is set for about 8:21 p.m. Now the temperatures might not be the issue, especially as the sun goes down, but the heat index is still expected to be pretty high as we head into those evening hours. Upper 90s expected by 7 p.m. and in the peak heating of the day, potentially up to 106. So it is going to be a very hot and steamy day, and we are expecting this trend to continue well into the next 7 days. And on top of that, not expecting a ton of rainfall to really cool us down. So here's a look outside as we start off our Wednesday here. We've got clouds, we've got blue sky. You kind of see a little bit of that mistiness on the horizon there. We are a bit humid today, even more humid than yesterday, with a dew point of 72 right now. Both of our major weather stations at 86 degrees to move into noon. So 87 for Austin. We've got some upper 80s for Amarillo, Lubbock, also 87 in San Angelo this morning, as well as Dallas at 88. And we have some 90s on the south end of the map down towards Corpus Christi and Laredo. Wednesday, we are expecting to get into the mid and upper 90s across the board. There's going to be a lot of sunshine, but also a mix of cloud cover as well. So it's going to keep us just a touch cooler than what we were dealing with over this past weekend or even yesterday. For our rain coverage, you'll note there's not a lot of activity going on for Texas over the next 5 days or so. We may see some sea breeze, showers or thunderstorms make it close to central Texas, but I don't think they're really going to be able to bring any significant significant rainfall to our area. And talking about rain activity, we do have some tropical updates for you guys as we head into this afternoon. We still have Tropical Storm Dexter. That is going to be a fish storm. We call it a fish storm because it stays out in the ocean, and that won't be bothering anyone for the next 2 to 7 days. However, we are watching off the coast of the Carolinas the potential for some moderate development over the next 7 days, and we're also watching a similar kind of setup down towards the equator, which has a now 20 to even 60% chance of development. And the National Weather Service has said that both of these areas could produce some sort of tropical depression as we head into the end of the week, as well as over this next weekend. So we could be naming another tropical system as we head into the weekend. Aaron is going to be that next name, and then Fernand is the next one after that. Now, I was talking about this a little bit earlier on in our show, but this is totally normal for this time of year. Last year at this time, we were tracking Debbie, and this year we're tracking Dexter. So we're kind of right on track there. As we head further into September, of course, that's going to be the peak of hurricane season, September 10th. And your 7-day forecast, here you go. We do have triple digits for our Friday, and then as we head into this weekend, temperatures are going to nod off just a touch as we start off our next week. We'll be back after this.